Hello world, it's your buddy Patriotic Hemorrhoid again, and today I'm doing a little thing about just the liberal bullshit that they're trying to force feed us every day. You see, this is going to be on freedom of speech, which many of you do not like what I use in my freedom of speech. But guess what? You see, that right there is the very beauty of freedom of speech. Freedom of speech means you are free to say shit that someone else may or may not like, may or may not agree with, and something that may or may not offend someone else. You see, I get offended by a bunch of stupid fucking idiots sitting there wearing pussy hats and screaming that everything that Donald Trump is doing is wrong and evil and blah blah blah, even though statistically he has done more good for this country than every president we've had for the last, at the bare minimum, 26 years. And I'm 26 years old, so that's literally, at the bare minimum, every president in my lifetime, from my conception till now, has been shit. Like, they really have. I don't give a shit who you are. I don't give a shit what you think. Look at the statistics. Look at how everything has been. There is a massive war on what the left calls toxic masculinity, which I do agree that there is such thing as toxic masculinity, which is where there is somebody who is forcing his will on someone else because, well, this is what I, as man, say. Me have penis, me strong, me do what me want. People that think that way, yes, they are toxically masculine, and usually trying to hide their insecurities through being overly freaking assertive of their quote-unquote masculinity. These are also the same people that are terrified of being anywhere near a homosexual. Actual homophobes. Which is another subject that we will deal with on a later date, which is the difference between someone who is homophobic and someone who just isn't gay. Someone who doesn't agree with homosexuality as being the normal, right thing. And biologically speaking, it's not. Because every species exists for one purpose. If you're not going to put religion into it, which I'm not, every species exists for the purpose of procreation. And I'm sorry if you are gay, or if you happen to think that gay sex, whether guy on guy or girl on girl, is kinky or sexy or whatever. No matter how kinky you think it is, no matter how much you enjoy it, a dude fucking another dude in the ass or sucking another dude's dick is not going to get the dude that is taking the dick pregnant, and it's not going to get the dude who's giving the dick pregnant either. And no matter how kinky or sexy it might be, two girls eating each other out, two girls grinding their pussies together against each other, two girls using frickin' strap-ons or double-headed dildos or whatever, none of that is going to make those girls pregnant. Either one of them. So off a regular biological standpoint, it is not what is the normal and right thing for the purpose of procreation. Now, I'm not going to go any farther on that because this is freedom of speech conversation. And guess what? I was just exercising my freedom of speech because I know a lot of you little fucktards are going to get all up in arms. Oh, well, that just makes you a homophobe. No, it doesn't. It makes me somebody of a scientifically sound mind. As I've mentioned in a few of my videos, or at least in some of the videos that didn't make it, I don't know if they're in my actual videos that did make it onto this station, but I have friends that are gay. Love them to death, will do anything I can for them. But I'm not going to do anything sexual. I'm not interested in it, and I've even told one of them, because he just could not get it through his head, that I did not agree with it, that I never would agree with it, and that I will never be okay with it, and I will never be interested in it. I have actually told him before that if he did not quit trying to push that shit on me, I'd break his fucking nose, and I would quit talking to him completely. And when I finally told him that first I'd beat his ass, and not in the way he wants, and second, I would never talk to him again, he finally respected me enough to fucking back off. So, freedom of speech, the First Amendment. It gives us the right to say what we fucking feel, what we want to say, without being persecuted. At the same time, if I hear somebody sitting there screaming out that they think it is okay to fuck children, you see, at that point, their freedom of speech is threatening someone else's life, love, and pursuit of happiness. And that's where it is no longer acceptable. All of our freedoms are only there for our and everyone else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. That's it. Your personal freedoms do not extend to the point where they infringe on someone else's life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. So, with that being said, all of you liberals that love to sit there and yell and scream and do all of your retarded bullshit protesting shit that you are manufactured to hate, it's your right. It is legitimately your right to go out there, miss work, don your little fucking pussy hats, put your stupid fucking Donald Trump can't grab this pussy shirt on and all that crap. It is your right to do that if you want. But the moment you exercising your right of freedom of choice, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, the moment you exercising any of those rights is infringing on my right as a conservative white male, or my neighbor's right as a conservative black male and conservative black female, my friends who are liberal Hispanics or freaking conservative Hispanics and liberal blacks and liberal whites. The moment you pushing your belief, you practicing your right becomes a threat to theirs, that's when it's no longer a right. And that's when you can get your ass fucking whipped. And you know what? My roommate is, as I've stated before, a medically retired United States soldier. But, guess what? He fought, risked his life, so that we have the freedom to do the shit we do, to say the shit we say. And even the left wing's right to stomp on an American flag, piss on American flags, shit on them, burn them, all that crap. He fought for your right to do so. At the same time, he also fought for my right to beat your fucking ass if I see you doing it. The only people I know that legitimately deserve the right to sit there and step on that flag, piss on that flag, shit on that flag, burn that flag, are the people who risked being buried under that flag. Or the families of people who have been buried under that flag. They have the right to do it. So, your right is your right. Your right is not to force anyone and everyone to have to agree with you, and if not, attack them. That's not freedom of speech. That is controlling a populace through threats of violence. You know, fascism. And for all of y'all who sit there and bitch and moan and cry and complain about Donald Trump's fascism and all that bullshit, how about you open up your fucking eyes? Read a goddamn dictionary. Read the definition of fascism, and then look at yourselves. He might be a complete idiot. He might. He might very well be trying to become the next Adolf Hitler, but it sure as hell does not look like it. It looks more like he's trying to prevent America from becoming the next Nazi Germany. Which, and guess what? This is my freedom to say, is exactly what would have happened under either Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton would have been, as much as I hate to say it, probably a more effective Adolf Hitler. Mostly because she's got the entire left wing sitting there doing all they can, yelling and screaming, and still, to this day, still trying to get rid of Donald Trump, thinking that somehow that's going to put her in office. It's not. It's not. I'm honestly glad that the DNC fucking hijacked the Democratic freaking primaries to put Hillary as the candidate. Because the only one that possibly stood an actual chance of beating Donald was the fucking openly socialist Bernie Sanders. And the fact that any of you guys actually want socialism in this country, and somehow you think, I find it hilarious, you think the very government that is too stupid to be able to run a fucking too stupid to run a democracy and a capitalistic government, you genuinely think that they'd be able to run a socialist government. And what you don't seem to understand, there's no such thing as a democratic socialist government. There's, okay, we're going to democratically vote the socialists in, and then they're going to take over the government, and the country become a totalitarian state. And if you're stupid enough to think that it's going to be anything other than that, well, by my right of freedom of speech, you're a bunch of fucking idiots, and you should probably go bungee jumping with just a regular rope or an extension cord and have it tied around your neck instead of attached to a freaking harness. So, that's going to be the end of this little rant, because if not, I'm probably just going to end up getting completely furious. So, fuck you all. Burn in hell. And if you're not one of the fucking retards that tries to force everyone else to believe the way you do, you keep being you. Don't care what your race, religion, or sexual orientation is. You be the beautiful Americans, or whatever country you're from, the beautiful countrymen and women of your nation. And understand, I love you and God loves you. Have a blessed day.